Welcome to another episode of another Gaming Retrospective, and we're kind of changing some stuff up on the show now, where we just don't focus on maybe one topic now, but we're also going to be starting to show off other things, like what video games we're playing, talk about some articles, game trailers, so on and so forth. And to help me launch this kind of rebrand over here is our good friend, Mr. Angry Canadian. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing great. It's a great day to be alive and a great day to enjoy a lot of good games.
Yes, it is indeed. And there's definitely been a lot of stuff going on in the gaming world. Summer's kind of winding down now, or basically over. Last day of for me is usually Labor Day here in the States. And we got a whole bunch of games coming out in September. And, we are game collectors too and everything else like that. So the grind never ends with unique and interesting games that we keep finding. As kind of a forewarning, I will be posting the games I picked up from my Florida trip, as well as shouting out some game shops that I stopped by. There you go.
Nice.
But I still have some other stuff to show people and everything else like that. But we'll do that later. I guess we'll just say, go over to you, Mr. Angry Canadian. What games have you been playing recently?
Yeah, so I've been trying to chip away at a couple of JRPGs right now, so I can get them out of my kind of like my backlog, and also like the current, just the schedule I have for gaming. Because it's kind of funny, this year I've made like a schedule for gaming, so I'm getting close to being done with these JRPGs. But yeah, Xenoblade Chronicles X, the definitive edition on the Switch. Been having fun just playing that, and actually what I've been doing lately is just XP and like class XP grinding, so that when I get to the final couple chapters of the game, I can just kind of breeze through it without any issues and just enjoy the story more. So I spent like the last couple days just grinding up and getting my characters ready for the end game, and then there's also a post game that I want to try to play, and we'll see how that goes. So that's been fun. And then in anticipation for a really cool remake that's coming out this actually in a couple weeks now, is Trails in the Sky, which is a Nihon Falcom game. It's like one of their first Trails games in like that series. And so I decided that I wanted to play this game before the remake came out, because I wanted to kind of have like the, I guess, freshest eyes on this remake to see like how well they remake this game. So, and like ironically enough, the last time I did that was right before Final Fantasy VII remake came out. I actually played Final Fantasy VII for the first time, back in 2020, and that was pretty cool. At the time I was a bit confused like what I was getting into, but like now I feel pretty well aware of things. So like I know, like I'm remembering stuff while I'm playing, and I'm recalling stuff in this Trails game. So when I play the remake, I'll be able to remember right away, oh, that was from this scene or that scene. And I've had a lot of fun. Trails in the Sky has some fantastic writing to it. The characters are hilarious because they basically roast each other all the time, and I really hope that's like maintained in the remake. And the combat's interesting because it uses like this movement system, kind of like an RTS, where you need to move. You either move or you can attack, and then it has like the turn-based attacking, of course, and you can actually have 4 party members on the field when you're attacking, which is really interesting. And it has like a whole kind of like a materia system to it, but it's a different type of system. So learning all of that has been quite the trip in itself, but it's been interesting and fun. And honestly, the writing and the story has really gotten me engaged. So yeah, those 2 games I've been playing. And on top of that, as far as mobile game, because I always play a game while I'm like commuting to work, I've been playing Unicorn Overlord, and that has been quite the slog. And I think what I really need to do now is the same thing I did in Xenoblade. It was I just need to grind up some levels on my own, like spend some time to do that, because I'm hitting like some walls that I shouldn't be hitting. So that game's been interesting. I do like the story in it. I think that game was definitely made for autistic people because of the amount of like detail there is, and like all the classes, the type weaknesses, the movement, the formations you could make. Like
Yeah.
the micromanaging in that game is just like absurd. It's just like it's way too much for me to handle. So I'm trying to keep it as basic as I can while enjoying it. And yeah, I like I said, I got to take some time to kind of level up in that game. So those are the 3 games I've been playing, plus some other games, but those are the 3 main ones I've been playing.
Yeah, for Unicorn Overlord, it was my game of the year last year. And what I always try to tell people, when I talk about like video games and how they play. Unicorn Overlord is one of those games that you could just pick up and put down pretty easily and kind of just like grind a level and do some backlog stuff and everything else like that. I 100%ed it. I got all the achievements for it. I ran around and did everything. You know, I had my waifu battalion guarding the king kind of deal going
That's
on.
what I'm doing right now.
I was just like, let's get all my favorite characters as like one, and you can only fit five, but like there's a lot of cool characters like that you could get, and then you make like your secondary squads, and that I got obsessed with it because I just really liked it. Like you said, it could be a little bit of autism, but I just enjoyed exploring the world. I enjoyed the real time combat, and I feel like the best way to play that game is like I would recommend to anyone else. Just pick it up, play like a scenario, get some more story, or grind. Like pick up, grind a level, go do something else if you need to. Especially because you're playing it on Switch, right?
Yeah, I'm playing on my Switch Lite right now.
Yeah. So like that's even better of an example of like yeah you could easily pick it up and put it down a lot easier. You know, just kind of take it in like stride where you like beat a thing and then go play another game and it'll kind of help you too.
Yeah, I had to take a break for a little bit because I was getting burnt out by it. So I played Metroid Zero Mission, like the actual game cart, and that was a lot of fun. And then when I came back to Unicorn Overlord, I was like, okay, I feel a bit refreshed now, and I can take on these challenges. But no, you're right about the whole pick up and play. Like because everything is like scenario based, you just do like one scenario, and then you could like that's like your gaming session, and then you could put it down and go do something else. So that is like a good point about it is how micro some of these like encounters or combat encounters are.
Yeah, it's I kind of like to say that it's a great game for parents because you can play just enough to get your uh, satisfaction, kind of like that itch, and then like you could go put it down and still have 24 hours left in your day, probably.
Yes. Or if
Yeah.
you're one of those parents that has to like wake up at like 2 or 3 in the morning and they only have like maybe 20 minutes or 30 minutes to play a game before they want to go back to sleep, I would say this is a good game for that.
Yeah, that's how I feel because I keep waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning, and I'm like, well, I got nothing
No,
else better
wait.
to do.
Yeah, just like turn on a console and play something.
Yeah, my wife, she works the night shift, so she's always asleep, and then as soon as I get up and use the bathroom and try to go back to bed, my dogs have stolen my spot. So I'm like, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, some very fun games that you're playing there. As for me, I've just been kind of busy. Like I've been planning so much work for the vacation that we just went on, and like pre-recording a bunch of stuff every day uh, prior to that vacation. That it's just like now I got a little burnt out, and I didn't even really do too much. I've only been playing the Gears of War Reloaded for Xbox. I got it on Game Pass. I've been playing that. I'm on the final push because I'm doing the special DLC that was the PC exclusive stuff that they brought over when they did the first remake, and I'm very close to the end of that. Plus, I've been playing Assassin's Creed again, so I'm on Assassin's Creed Odyssey now, and all I can say is that I like this game, but it's not an Assassin's Creed game. It's such a drastically different game from all the other ones that I've played, especially Origins, which I just 100%ed and got all the trophies and the platinum for it. I'm just looking at everything for this game, and I'm like, I like it. I just wish it didn't have the Assassin's Creed branding to it because I feel like they did another one called Phoenix Rising or something like that, and I wish they kind of would have just made this one into its own separate universe and based that off of Phoenix Rising.
Yeah, it's interesting you bring that up because the one and only Assassin's Creed game that I played to completion was Odyssey, and the entire time I never thought like, oh, this is an Assassin's Creed game. I just knew like, oh, this is a Ubisoft game that takes place in like Greece, and I enjoyed it. I love that game a lot. So, yeah, because you get to the point, especially in the end game, that yeah, you can assassinate a lot of people, but it's just way more fun to go in there like God of War style and just like fight people one on one or in large groups because of how like overpowered you get towards the mid to end of the game.
Yeah, and for somebody like me who's like a history guy, I just kind of like enjoying like going to Athens during the plague or running around old Sparta and seeing it kind of like in their kind of primes, you know?
Yeah.
It's one of the things I really loved about Origins too when I was playing it. It's just like, here I am. I'm in Alexandria, you know? I'm not in, ancient Egypt with, the ancient dynasties. I'm not there with Tutankhamun and Ramses the Great. It's kind of like Egypt at its lowest when it's not the Egyptians controlling it. It's the Greeks, and
Yes.
they got all the fun interactions with the Greeks and the Romans and all that stuff. It's cool.
Yeah, those both those games are definitely visual masterpieces for like environments and stuff, and that's like what really drew me to Odyssey was just how beautiful the world looked and all the different the variety of like the towns and the locations and stuff, like being out on the ocean, of course. So yeah, I mean, if you can play it on PC or like Series X, PlayStation 5, like you'll be getting quite the treat just in visually speaking.
Yeah, and the reason why I wanted to replay them again too is because they did get a update patch for Series X and S as well as PlayStation 5. So I've been playing them on my PlayStation 5. Also testing out my Pro, which I can't really justify the price that I paid for it, but uh, you know, sorry, I got secondhand used, and it came with a disc drive, so it's been okay. I have not been impressed by the next gen power of all this stuff. It's just hasn't really blown me away yet. But besides that, those are really about like the only games I've been truly focused on playing so far. Um, I've been really obsessed with Pokemon Pocket a lot lately too because of my TCG glory days are easier to do when it's just a truncated version of the game.
On your
But
mobile phone too.
yeah, I mean the new meta is okay, but I don't want to bore anyone with that because those are about like the only three games I've been playing. Because I've been also playing. Sorry, one more game. Pokemon Sun and Moon. Still playing that. Still enjoying it. But besides that, I've kind of reached the I need to do stuff phase. So I've been kind of keeping it low on like what games I've been playing.
I know that feeling quite well. You got to shuffle priorities around for specific titles that you're playing.
Yeah. So hopefully I'll be done with Gears by tomorrow night, or yeah, definitely later on tomorrow, and then try to focus on maybe another smaller game to kind of go with it. Probably go through the whole Gears trilogy and the other two after that. To be honest with you.
Nice.
Okay. So now we're going to go to another portion of it, and it's going to show off what video games we have picked up recently. And we're going to go start off with you, Mr. AC.
All right, sounds good. So, this like past weekend or 2 weekends ago, I went to this little city known as Nagoya over in Aichi Prefecture here in Japan. And I went with a friend of mine and then my wife, of course. And my friend suggested we should go to this like nerd town that they have in Nagoya. So I was like, all right, cool. So we went into the usual shops that I go to because they're like chain shops. And I was kind of surprised with what I found. And I'm only going to show a couple things, but I got them for like pretty good prices too, like really cheap. So let me just throw on the camera. Boom. All right, here we go. So yeah, color me surprised. I found this Halo 2 PC edition, of course, games for Windows, and yeah. So we'll see what's inside and like how different it is from the American version because I have the American one, but it comes with like I think a normal DVD case. So this was, by the way, I think this was only. It was it was definitely less than $10. It might have even been less than $5. It was
Yeah.
rather cheap. Oh, well, imagine that. I got a 2-for-1. This reminds me of that that the scene from Toy Story, the 2-for-1 with Woody and Buzz and the claw machine. Yeah, so okay, cool. So I now have a Japanese version of Combat Evolved for the PC, which that's pretty neat. And of course, we've got Halo 2 right here, games for Windows. And I don't want to show the product keys because I know the Halo 2 one has limited activations for them, so you can't like install them on every machine that's ever existed. So yeah, and then here's the manual. Probably pretty similar to the console manual, I would imagine, except it's got the PC controls. So they even got the 360 controller in here. That's kind of funny.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. And then this is kind of cool too. So like you got an ad for the 360 here. And then this is a free trial for Windows Live. Oh my bad, the angle's this way. If any of you guys remember Windows Live,
Yeah,
because
geez,
it's
yeah.
unopened, I can rip this out and claim my code if it's gonna work. So yeah, so that is that. So I'll put this away. But yeah, I think that's actually really funny that I have two here. Um, I know recently I tried installing the Combat Evolved PC, and it just doesn't really work on modern computers. You have to use a virtual machine in order to play a lot of these older games on like this was for Vista. I know Halo 2 was for Vista. So yeah, there's not even a marker on here. But anyways, it was for Vista. Oh my bad, right here. Windows Vista.
No, there you go.
So yeah, that's Halo 2, and then I got a bunch of PSP titles. Some of them are for you, and then of course one of them or some are for me. So we've got this one I've been looking for the longest time, which is I got to go up here. Castlevania Chronicles X or X Chronicles, and this is basically a remake of my favorite Castlevania game, Rondo of Blood, and it uses like some 3D. It uses like 3D models instead of like the pixel art. So I've been slowly playing through this game. It's interesting. The music doesn't really hit the same, but um, I'll be doing a cool YouTube short with this game here soon, so that'll be a lot of fun. And then this is the game you were asking me to hunt for you, and I actually finally found it. I had to go to a completely different town to find it, but yeah. So how about you take it away on what this game is, since you're the one that requested for me to find it.
So I kind of get confused what its name is. It's like Black Panther or Black Leopard. Uh,
I'm
you help me
pretty
out
sure
there?
it's Black Panther because when I put this into the dictionary, Kudo is black and then Hyo is it comes up as Panther. So I'm gonna go with Black Panther, but I'll have to ask the wife later to
Yeah.
confirm.
So basically, what it was is these are two Japanese exclusive PSP titles that are kind of spin-offs of the Yakuza series, and they were only released in Japan, and they were only for the PSP. There's this one, and then there's a sequel that they got right there, and they take place in it. If basically, let me come down to this, it's basically a brawler. It's another type of Yakuza thing. It's another kind of universal game. It's kind of like Judgment, but it's more in line with like the actual like fighting and more aligned with like the earlier Yakuza games that everyone kind of knows and loves. And I've been trying to get these for my collection for a while because I always forget like the name of them because some places they say it's Black Leopard, some people say it's Black Panther, and then I think that because people say it's Black Panther, I go like that can't be right because I think it's like the actual Black Panther, like Wakanda Forever, that will pop up more.
Yeah.
So that's why it's harder for me to remember this. But I am thankful for you, buddy, for finding these ones. I hope they weren't too expensive too, by the way.
Oh no, they were real cheap. And actually, I made a mistake here. I'll have to correct the record. It is leopard. It
Okay,
is
cool.
leopard. Black leopard is the name of this. And actually, I can read. I know this kanji. I can read this one. I'm not sure what this means. I'm assuming this means like a new story or side story. That's what I'm assuming. But yeah. As far as price goes, this was the most expensive out of all the PSP games I got. This came out to $30 or $40, I think. But both of these together were less than $30. Both of these two
Oh wow.
yeah, yeah, they were pretty cheap, and I was kind of surprised because I thought they would be a bit more expensive. And I mean, the quality of the CD is perfect. Like I tested both of them out, and Yeah, I played this one because this number two has like a stupid long intro to it. I don't know why, but this one you can get right into the action pretty quickly, and I was like, oh, the combat is actually pretty fun in this, and I don't know if it's like really good looking 30 frames, but it runs smooth compared to I bought Battlefront 2 for the PSP, and that thing chugs. This game was running really smooth. I was actually really impressed by that. So, anyways, yeah, I have to bring these to you here soon. But yeah, you'll I think you'll have fun like playing through them, and hopefully hopefully it's not super dialogue heavy because we know the Yakuza games are pretty dialogue heavy.
Yeah, I know they won't have English subtitles, so I'll be like, I have no idea what's going on. I'm just happy to be here.
Yeah, the only thing that I can think of is if you mod your PSP, you might be able to find a fan translation patch for it, but I don't even know. I haven't had a chance to look into that yet.
They do have fan translations for that one and that other Japanese exclusive game I keep telling you about. For the PS3, the Lost Planet sequel that people wanted to play.
I don't remember the name of it, but yeah.
I forget the name of it too, but that's neither here nor there.
And then like for the kind of like final one that I'll tease here, and I have a separate video I'm making for this and some other ones, this is Yeast a remake of Yeast 3 called Oath and Felgana, and this is actually a PC release of it from way back in the early days of Windows XP. And excuse me, and this one was caught my eye because of this right here. This says premium music, and I'm a big video game music collector, and so I had to pick this up. So if you want to find out more about this, hopefully I'll have this video made for you guys to check out in the future. But this is pretty cool stuff here. Like once again, this is the PC version of this game. And by the way, this Oath and Felgana, you can play it on basically all modern consoles now. Like this has like been ported over to modern consoles. So I highly recommend if you're interested in playing the Yeast games that you check out that game too.
All right, cool. It looks pretty damn cool. I'm not gonna lie. Some really nice pickups there.
Yeah, man, it's been fun shopping for PSP now because I have a PSP that I can play, and then like the PC stuff it was like random. I've never seen like clean PC boxes like that before out here. So now I'm definitely gonna be actively looking for that.
Yeah, I like to collect PC steelbooks when I can every now and then.
That's interesting. PC steelbooks. That's really interesting.
Yeah, I got a few of them. Believe it or not, Total War has a lot of them.
Oh, that's cool. Okay.
Yeah. All right, so I'm going to start off my pickups with a game that I got pretty much before I went on vacation, and I bought it just for the novelty of it. Gears of War Reloaded for the PlayStation 5. Obviously, this is the first time Gears of War is going to be on PlayStation, and part of like the whole big thing that we're kind of seeing now with Microsoft and even Sony for that matter, where they're just going to put their games on anything that they can to make money. Like I said, I'm currently playing through this right now on Xbox. This is still kind of sealed because I guess it got delivered and it's like a little bit breaking off here and there. Like, see?
Oops.
But it doesn't matter. I'm going to probably test this on PlayStation 5 as well. So far, I haven't ran into too many issues while I'm playing it. I had like one bug, and then when I got back from vacation, I realized I was just stupid, and I didn't have a bug at all. It was just me not forgetting the layout of the level. So that was on me. But so far, smooth, 60 FPS, looks gorgeous, looks great. And the only thing I could say is I'm having a ball with the ragdoll physics because every time I find a locust and I kill them, they just keep doing like these weird flips, like their backs are breaking. So it's just like some weird like yoga poses that they've been taking up. But yeah, if you like Gears and you've never played it on a PlayStation, definitely check it out. It's still good. Can't go wrong with Gears of War. The next one, I picked this up today, and a funny story behind that is I actually bought this by accident on the not PSP, the Switch, but I got the first one coming later this year for the PlayStation. So I saw this while I was out shopping, Romance Saga 2 for the PS5. Not really much to talk about it because I haven't played the first one because I ordered it like it feels like forever ago from VG Plus. They had like the special edition for the first game for the PS5. and it's just been taking forever to get to me. So PNP up in Canada also had a sale on all the Square Enix games. I got a couple others with this one for the Switch, and then I just asked them. I was like, "Oh, can I like swap out my order?" And they're like, "Well, no, we can't do that unless we cancel the whole order." And I was like, "All right, fine." So got it for the PS5, so I'm going to keep it consistent, and then the Switch one will be eventually traded in for something else. That's the best way to describe it. Also, another game that I got today in the mail, and this one I ordered on vacation, and this one is the premium edition of Mortal Kombat Armageddon, and it is a steelbook, and it's got a bunch of cool little features inside of it. It comes with a bonus content DVD, and it comes with a manual, a little premium edition. I want to say like a little card on here too, which you can see. That was pretty cool to see in here. Let me just put it away like this for now. But the one thing I'm really checking out and interested on for future content here is that they have a exclusive history of fatalities video, which I'm starting to think about like other things I want to show off. And a lot of these older games had like DVD companions where they showed off, dev diaries and stuff like that. I know Fable has one, and I thought this was very interesting to see in here. So maybe in the future for a legacy loading, we'll sit down and we'll take a gander at it. But like I said, playable versions of Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3. They got the little Mortal Kombat kart racer in this one. And Armageddon, sometimes people say it's one of the better ones. Sometimes people say it's one of the worst ones. Either way, it's very rare to find a steelbook from this generation. There weren't that many that got these. I think off the top of my head, I can name like only 8. So this was a nice, fun find. I only paid $20 for this as well. It's not like pristine, obviously, as you can see. There's some little dings on the artwork in that, but overall, this is like real, like steel book. It's very solid, very thick. And now the last one I got because I've been, like I said, I'm trying to collect a lot more steel books. And this one I found funny, so forgive me in advance. But I got the collector's edition of MLB The Show 224, and it was called the Negro League edition. So I thought that was funny. And this I paid only $10 for because it does not come with a game, but it came with a hat, as all these collector's edition do. And it's a Negro League hat. It says established in 1920. And it did have a very cool historical steelbook with the Negro League steelbook as well included with it. This Discover Greatness. I want to be honest here. Don't try to get too political on here, but they really pushed this one out for obviously the whole diversity stuff that they were doing with some of these sports games. But at least it's like letting people remember a historical time when we had the segregated leagues and all that stuff. Ironically enough, the basketball games have not done it, but they did it for the baseball one. And it's pretty cool. I like history. I like talking about this stuff. I will go into more detail about it in a later episode that I do dedicate to my Steelbook collection. And this will definitely be one of them to talk about for sure. And this was the PS5 and PS4 copy. And as Sony has been doing a lot with these collector's editions, they do not include a physical disc because of the digital versions of their consoles. C'est la vie. We'll have to find it at the dollar store eventually for a lot cheaper. And with that being said, that's going to be all my pickups that I have for myself. All right, so I think it's now time to kind of push over now to our next segments over here, and that is video game trailers that we kind of want to show off and show people. So, Mr. AC, do you want to go first, or should I go first?
You can go first. Yeah, go ahead and go first. I've been going first the last 2 times now.
All right, let's bring this up here. So the first one I'm going to bring up is Desha Attack.
So it's actually pronounced. You can say Densha attack
Densha.
because Densha is train in Japanese. And what they decided to do there is with that sha, with the A part, they attached attack to it. So I think that's really cool to play on words there. So you just say it as Densha attack. Densha attack.
Yeah, so this was a game that was released at Gamescom, the trailer for it, and I like games like this. They remind me of Jet Set Radio. I like the cell shade art style. I like how over the top everything looks in this game, and I feel like I want to pump this game. Like I really want this game to get out to more people. So here's about a 3 minute and 30-second trailer for you know the gameplay and such. So I'm gonna play it, and let me know if you can hear this too, buddy.
Sure thing. I hear the audio.
You can hear it.
Yep.
All right, cool.
Hello, we're Undercoders, and in the studio based in Barcelona. Recently, we've been focused on developing 3D platformers, but our studio is heavily influenced by arcade classics, Japanese culture, and extreme sports games. And Dense Attack is our dream project, a step forward for the studio combining everything we love.
So I do feel like that's pretty cool that they're a Spanish studio making this game.
Yeah, because I didn't even know that. This is like I've only seen like the footage of this. I didn't know that it was a Spanish studio. That's kind of interesting because it looks Japanese, the game design. So that kind of caught me off guard there. Yeah, that's pretty dope.
Yeah, let's continue on. Let's let them talk it out more.
In Dense Attack, you'll discover a not-so-distant future Japan in which local railways have been abandoned and are now used by underground gangs to compete in illegal contests of train acrobatics. You'll have to rack up points by chaining tricks, explore huge levels, race against rival crews, and uncover a wild story as you travel through Japan taking the railways back. We are making a game that is not just about what you do, but how you do it. It's expressive, stylish, and totally up to you. From our first trips in the late 90s, we've been obsessed by traveling across Japan by train and being able to dive into the local culture, getting to know the architecture, the landscapes, the folklore, and we're always captivated by the sheer contrast of their peaceful countryside and the high energy of its huge cities, which somehow feels connected and part of the same.
So have you been to all those places they were just showing off?
Yeah, I think the one place with the shrine on the water looked like Hiroshima on Momiji Island. I think if that's what I saw correctly, and then I saw the Glico Man. That's Osaka, so that's my neighborhood. Yeah, that's awesome that they have a deep history with the city, the Japan, like coming to Japan and like exploring and whatnot. You could definitely see that in the level design and everything. So that's really cool. They did their homework, so that's really I like that a lot. That shows a lot of promise for this game with the attention to detail.
Yeah, you hear that, Ubisoft? You fucked up. Enough about that. Let's go back to you.
Cultural rhythm. It's a never-ending source of inspiration that has been fueling our creative energy throughout all the years and has now materialized in Dense Attack. On your adventure, you'll find a variety of challenges to move forward, from trip-pack arenas to compete for high scores to objective-based exploration levels and even racing circuits.
The world is packed with a bunch of unique characters from different gangs and personalities that you will have to face on your journey through Japan. And with every
I want to say Garu. There you go.
new challenge, you will grow as a Denshi attacker and further add to the chaos. We've handcrafted every stage from the ground up, pulling from real-world locations to make every landscape different but recognizable. You will go really fast, but if you look closely, you'll catch references to every corner of Japanese culture.
You'll be fighting wild boss battles against gang leaders, which will test everything that you've learned.
Oh my goodness!
These are
They're
always
actually doing
full of
train
surprise.
transformations.
They do. This is
That's
great.
funny because there's an actual anime out here of like Shinkansens that are like basically Transformers, or they're like Voltron, and they like combine together or they transform and stuff. So yeah, these guys are definitely weebs, Japanese or Japan weebs.
Yeah, they are.
You'll never know what secret technique your rival hides, so you'll have to get creative to overcome them with your train. They're a mix of spectacle, personality, and challenge that one could expect for an anime-style showdown mid-game. Densho Tag is a love letter to anime, skate games, and Japan's iconic train system. If you like Jet Set Radio, Tony Hawk, or Densho to Go, you can't miss this train. Pun intended.
Wish list now. We can wait to show you more.
Hey, what's up? Welcome to Densho Tag. It's the best game in the world. See you guys.
Hello, we're undercover.
Yeah, we don't need to look at the outtakes.
You know what's crazy is like these guys feel more normal than a lot of these other like developer like behind the scenes or like promo stuff. Like I don't know, like they felt like just normal people that like Japan and that culture, and we want to make a cool game, a fun game, I should say, and that game looks like a lot of fun.
That game looks so amazing. I cannot wait to play that game. Like I said, it just looks like it's got so much promise. Like I said, I didn't watch this. I'm doing everything cold here. I didn't know that the devs were from Barcelona, so that's pretty cool to see. And like you're saying, it's just like, look, they're showing side-by-side details of like these are places that we took inspiration from. You can tell that they understand a lot of like the culture of Japan from a fun perspective. They got the Garus, they got the baseball machine boss fight. And like I said, it's like I just thought Tony Hawk right away mixed with Jet Set Radio Future. And I just like, I'm in. I'm in. I've been trying to pump this game up with other people. I don't know how much they've been listening because sometimes they fall on deaf ears, but I hope everyone goes out there and just like at least wishlist this game or share what your thoughts are in the comments below. AC, how about you? Do you got some more like thoughts you'd like to add to this trailer?
Yeah, I'm hoping that the train is customizable so you can put your own like decals on it and change the color because that'll make it a bit more personal, the game. But besides that, like the music. So on Spotify, they released a song from the game, I guess, or I don't know if it's like the theme or just a track from the game. And the artist for it is T-Lopes, and T-Lopes is famous for doing promos with Sonic for Sonic music and some other like video game related like high octane type of music. And holy cow, if you get the chance, you'll have to go to Spotify, or you can probably find it on YouTube as well.
It's on Apple Music as well.
Or Apple Music, and listen to that track. Like I've listened to it like one too many times now. It is like it gets you hyped for this game. Like I don't know what other soundtrack or single track I should say has done that for me, but this one alone, and I'm with you, man. Like I want to. What was the term you said? Like you want to push this game as much as you can because yeah, people should play this fun game because it looks like a lot of fun. So
yeah, let's hope they hit the mark with this one. Like I said, it looks like it's going to be fun. Like, even when I'm watching this trailer, I'm like, I can't wait to get my hands on this game and play it, fight those boss battles. And, I hope this gets a physical, and I will buy it physically if I really do love it, because
yes,
it's hitting all the right notes. It's definitely a Carl game, as they would say.
It has a good combination of a classic Sega and a classic Capcom game, I feel like, as far as like the game design of it goes, not like the graphic or the art direction, just like the gameplay look of it. That's what it looks like to me.
All right. Do you want to show off your first trailer, or should I show off mine?
I can do mine. Yeah, sure. We can jump right into mine.
There we go. All right. So this is the Trails remake?
Yeah, so this is Trails in the Sky remake, and what they're doing now is they're actually showing the classic game next to the remake game. So you see the combat there, like this is the combat of the game next to the actual game here, or the remake, I should say. So this is what I'm playing right now, that classic game.
Oh wow, look at how much detail they put into this one.
Bro, they went all out with this remake.
But this is going to make people mad, though. That's the sad part.
And here's the overworld exploration. So keep in mind on the top left corner that is
well, your
the
microphone's cutting out. Maybe you
Oh.
need to pause this if you want to talk.
Oh, whoops.
Sorry, your microphone's just cutting out. It's just you roboting. So
Okay, I'm just getting excited. That's why.
no, that's fine.
So pay attention to the top left corner here. That is the original game there, and then you'll see how you traverse around in the overworld. And it's not like it's pretty big in the original game, but like they've really expanded on it with better technology now with what they can do with this remake. So yeah, check this out. So right there, you go from one screen to the next. Basically, it's like one giant screen to the next screen. And now with this newer game, it's all seamless, like open world traversal. And as you can obviously see, it's a top-down game. And yeah, you can circle the camera around, but it's only top-down. It's kind of hard to see all the angles. With this remake, I mean, you've got like full camera control now, and you can see all the details in the environments. And like that's just awesome, man. Like it's like you're able to really like soak in the environments now. So that's actually blown me away the most.
It's also very smooth. I've noticed that a lot too. It
Oh,
looks like the
dude.
frame rate is very smooth on here.
Oh yeah, man. I'm looking forward to seeing how this plays on the Switch too. I think it's gonna. I mean, because like there's like issues with like performance on the Switch 2 and whatnot, but this game like doesn't require a lot. It doesn't look like it does, so this should have like minimal issues running at 60 frames on the Switch 2. Real quickly, as you can see, when you go to a town, it's its own like screen, so like that is removed now. Like it's all seamless in this open world. I don't know. I haven't seen it yet. I don't know how it works when you go inside buildings because that was its own screen as well. I would imagine the buildings are their own like environments that you walk into. So if that makes sense. But no. So yeah, that's that right there. The music sounds amazing too. They've redone the music as well. So I think that's like all the new music. I'll let this play out for the rest of it. Yep, and so there you have it. I actually just got to that part in the game there. Now you're probably wondering, like, wow, the world looks a bit barren. Like, it's like there's not like a lot of enemies. And to be honest, like the original game, like the enemies are on the paths here that you see like on screen, but there's not like a ton of them because the game is more about the story per se than I think the combat. Because like you can't like, for example, you can't really level grind in this game like you can in other games. There's actually like you'll hit a wall like every chapter per se. So it's because the game is not all about like battling per se. Like it's there for fun. It's more about the story and going on the side quests and experiencing the character dialogue and everything. That's what like the focus of this game is, in my personal opinion. So yeah, people probably be like, why is there not like a whole lot of enemies? That's kind of like how the original game really is. So, and then again, like this is like a bit of an older video, so the build of this might be a bit older, so they might add more enemies. Who knows? But no, yeah, this is coming out in a couple weeks. And I'm trying to hurry up and finish the original game, so I'm ready for this remake when it drops because I'm loving everything about it. And also, this new game has full voice acting as well. That's a new thing too, so that's gonna be really interesting to hear like character voices for all these characters.
Yeah, it's definitely a nice thing to see a full on like remake. You know.
Yes. Yeah, so that's my first trailer there to share with the masses.
Okay. I'm going to go switch it over then to mine now. So this one is another game series that got its start on the PlayStation Portable. And yeah, Luminous Arise. This was the demo announcement trailer, but this is a game that I'm happy is coming back. If you haven't played Luminous, it's kind of a Tetris-like clone, but they've had real amazing soundtracks. I like listening to them while I play them. And I just kind of want to show off. This is like a 6-minute trailer. I don't think we'll watch it all, but I figured we get a little bit of the devs to speak and so on. All right, let's give this a view, shall we?
Love is making waves.
Luminous Arise is an upcoming reinvention of the classic puzzle series, Luminous. Never tried a Luminous game before? Well, I'm your host, Sushi Drew, and I'm here to show you everything you need to know about Luminous and the Luminous Arise demo that you can download now until September 3rd. Let's go. Luminous Arise marks the return of the beloved franchise that began over 20 years ago. At its core, Luminous is a beautifully simple, but endlessly deep, puzzle game. You're dropping 2x2 blocks built from 2 different colors, aiming to create 2x2 or larger squares of a single color. But here's the twist that makes Luminous special. Those 2x2 squares, well, they don't clear immediately when you form them. There's a timeline that sweeps across the screen from left to right, synchronized to the beat of the music. Only when the timeline passes through your matched single color squares do they actually disappear, generating points in progress based on how many 2x2 squares can fit in that cleared area. This creates incredible strategic depth as you're thinking about timing, positioning, and building up these areas that will create these massive point explosions as that timeline sweeps through.
So first off, I want to talk about the guy, Sushi Drew. Stupid name. But I wanted to say something about these puzzle games is that they've been doing amazing work with their soundtracks.
Yeah, music sounds great. I know you gifted me the PS Vita version of this game, or like the older game, and
Yeah.
I like the music in it. The little bit that I played, so they're definitely trying to hit for that really great sound design or music design for these games. I mean, that's what it's a puzzle game, and you got to have good music with it, otherwise you're gonna lose your mind.
Yeah, and I know that they at least ported the first one over to Xbox and the Switch as well. So you can play the original PSP ones, I think, with updated audio, sound, and everything too.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I like I said, Tetris Effect and this, like you kind of need that like real banger soundtrack now and like sound design for a lot of these games. Like you can kind of get away with it, but even games like Balatro and everything, like you need that ambient sound too to kind of like help your brain turn off and everything too to play these games because there's not really too much super going on with them, you know?
Yes.
All right, well, let's continue.
It's not just points on your scoreboard, it's this burst of light and sound and particle effects that make your brain release all these amazing chemicals. That moment when a massive area clears and the whole screen becomes this beautiful explosion, well, that's what keeps people playing Luminous for hours without realizing it. Every block placement, every timeline sweep, every combo creates sparkling effects, light bursts, and musical cues that make you feel like you're conducting your own performance. The game responds to every move with a symphony of sight and sound. Alright, the moment we've been waiting for, the moment I've been waiting for, a totally new mechanic in Arise. Burst. Here's how it works. As you play, you'll notice a percentage number at the top of the timeline that gradually increases. Once this hits 50%, or up to a max at 100, you can press the trigger buttons, L2 or R2, to activate Burst. When you trigger Burst, everything changes. The music shifts. And suddenly, those squares that you've been forming won't clear right away. They'll just sit there, waiting. That percentage number on top of that timeline will now show you how many times that timeline will pass through before your burst color finally clears. Your job now is simple. Make that burst area as massive as possible. You want to connect many of the same color blocks to it as you can. You could build on top of it, build around it. Basically, you want to make it massive. Meanwhile, opposite blocks that are touching the burst block will be pushed to the top of the screen. When burst finally ends, the timeline sweeps across and clears the giant burst area in one spectacular explosion. But wait, did you catch that? When burst is over, the blocks held at the top fall back down into the playfield, potentially creating even more matches that'll clear with the next pass of the timeline. There's a brand new multiplayer mode called Burst Battle that you can try out right now with the demo, where you can use this burst mechanic strategically against opponents.
That sounds interesting.
Yeah, I mean it's because it's like a new. I mean, there's only so many times you can, or how do you say? There's only so many ways you can skin a cat, and so for this game, it's like there's only certain ways you can like create this type of game here, and so they this new idea that they have here with the burst mode is it's I like it. It's definitely makes you. It adds a bit more of a tactic to it, especially like after the burst clears and everything comes crashing down again, and how that can affect the score as well, or like your board there. So yeah, I mean it is a pretty unique concept there.
Yeah, I can't wait to kind of test that out.
Burst Battle is a completely new competitive mode that will get your heart racing. The garbage piles up on the sides of your playfield, making your working area smaller and smaller. And here's how the tension builds. Warning icons are overlaid on the playfield when garbage is incoming, and you only get 4 more block placements before it hits. These icons change each time you place a block until the 4th one, so you know exactly when you'll get slammed. Just how badly is this going to go? Icons at the top corners of the playfield vary in intensity depending on how much garbage.
Oh, also another thing too, they announced for the pre-orders, these little avatars, like they said they are going to have like Astrobot and a couple other Sony little guys as well if you pre-order them.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, I remember seeing that on their Twitter.
Is in queue to fall, and trust me, it can pile up very fast. You can clear garbage by making squares next to it, but here's the key strategy. Garbage blocks won't land on you during burst. This means burst isn't just for offense, it's your lifeline when you're under pressure. You can activate burst to stop the garbage assault and turn the tables on your opponent. In this demo, you'll be able to play tracks from Journey mode, like Arise and Chameleon Groove, and there's even a special tutorial stage if you can get to the 3rd round. In the full version, however, you'll be able to pick your favorite tracks for battles. Beyond core gameplay innovations, Luminous Arise is packed with accessibility features. Found in the Options and Accessibility menu, the No Stress Luminous option modifies certain rules to make gameplay easier, such as removing game overs completely and or giving the player infinite time to choose the location to drop a block. This makes it easier to just vibe out. Other options include adjusting text size, visuals, and the intensity of certain effects so you can enjoy Luminous Arise more comfortably. If you've never played a Luminous game, this demo is the perfect entry point, giving you.
How do you feel about that?
I don't like that because it kind of takes away from what the game is supposed to be, which is a challenge. You know, like imagine if Tetris had that. Like people would riot. You know, like you shouldn't have an easy mode. You know, for a game like this. Like I played the little bit that I played on the Vita. Like it's not overly complicated. It just requires actual like concentration, and that just kind of proves that I don't know. I guess this generation of people have like minimal concentration skills because I mean it's just not overly complicated. The music's there to help you focus, and you know, and like the guy so you know eloquently stated about how like there's a lot of this like chemical reaction you get when you're like you know making these scores and whatnot. So if that's not engaging you to prevent you from game overing, then like maybe you shouldn't play this game then, or play games in general.
Well, this has been like a trend with a few games I've seen where they have like a bumper bowling mode, as I like to call it, where it's just you can't die. I want to say the first video game I remember seeing this in personally. I'm not saying this is like the first video game that had it, but Psychonauts 2 had a no death mode basically as well.
Interesting. Yep, and don't forget everybody's you know game of the year Expedition 33 has like an easy mode too, a journal mode.
Do they have like a non-death mode too?
Not non-death mode, but it is like it is super easy mode.
Oh, so they got Weenie Hut Junior mode?
Yes, yeah. Also known as story mode. But yeah, I mean, coming back to this game, like it is like a bit absurd. I understand maybe like you're the type of person that wants to enjoy the music in this game and not really the game itself, which is kind of odd. Maybe that kind of benefits you, but like, what size group is that really going to cater towards? I think most people, I know people that love puzzle games. They love puzzle games, so they're going to want
Right.
to play the puzzle game.
Yeah, I know our mutual friend, Mr. John O from Gronkin Gaming, huge huge puzzle game fan. In fact, when we did a episode on Tetris, and he went out and bought Tetris Effect, and then he played it all night.
Shout out to Johnny Boy.
Shout out.
A taste of the Burst Battle multiplayer and 3 single-player stages. The full game, however, will have over 35 handcrafted stages. And if you're a longtime fan, Luminous Arise has everything you love about the series, but made even better with today's technology. Once you experience Luminous in that perfect flow state, especially with the new burst mechanic, you'll understand why fans have been waiting so long for this moment. Luminous Arise will hit the market on November 11th for the PS5 and PSVR 2 support. You can pre-order or add it to your wishlist now and get ready for the good vibes. Oh, don't forget your headphones. Peace.
Wow, PSVR 2. I mean, I can see this game being really interesting in VR. I guess recently I've really taken a greater appreciation for game design and just kind of seeing like what's happening on screen there. Like that I know like the background is probably like a pre-rendered video that they're doing, and maybe there's some animations to it, but that took some serious work and some serious thought about how they were going to design that. And that's like pretty impressive to have that all sync up with this music-based game and all this other stuff. So seeing that in VR, I mean, I might run out and get a VR too now. Maybe not just for this game, but I definitely want to see this game in VR because, I mean, if anybody's played Beat Saber, they would understand. I mean, it's completely different experience when you play a rhythm game in VR. It's definitely a really unique experience.
I played Tetris Effect in VR when I got the first PlayStation VR when I went on super deep sale when I worked at GameStop. And honestly, it didn't really add too much.
Yeah, I'm guessing it was probably just like a floating. It looked like a floating screen, right?
It basically felt like just that. I honestly, if you're going to buy this for the PlayStation 5, just go full out with the PlayStation 5, man. You got the 4K. I'm pretty sure the colors are going to be awesome and amazing. And a sound effect. If you got a sound system, this thing's going to probably melt your face.
Yeah, it's gonna be like that episode from SpongeBob when the house is bouncing and the roof is going off.
Yeah. I can't wait.
Fish episode.
I was gonna say the jellyfish rave. I can't wait for someone to mod that into this one.
Oh man, it's gonna be great. Yeah,
it's gonna be great. But like you're saying, like another game that I love, Hi-Fi Rush. It's making a game go in tandem with the beat.
Yeah, that takes a lot of skill, a lot of planning to figure that out.
And that's like what I like about these games too is like when they do like perfect sound sync ups. It's wonderful. I know one thing I want to add before I let you finish. This game is also coming to PC as well, and I'm not sure they're getting a physical release because I haven't seen anything about a physical for this game either. So, I might just buy this and for Steam and play this on my Steam Deck, to be honest with you, because this feels like the perfect handheld kind of game.
Yeah, I would be very surprised if it never came to the Switch or even the Switch 2. I would assume Sony would try to port it to the Switch 2, considering they did that with Lego Horizons. So I think they have a potential to have a good market with it on the Switch 2 right now, even if it's just digital. They don't have to do physical. If they do digital, they can probably get a lot of sales that way.
Well, yeah, and I don't even think this is money by Sony. I don't think it's published by them. I think they just are going with like the familiarity because, like I said, this game they ported to pretty much everything. But I think the dev just has a really good relationship with Sony.
Yeah.
So I think they're just doing like a kind of pseudo timed exclusive.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, because like I said, it's coming day one to PC as well. So they know that they want to try to get more players on this market. And like I said, I think this is going to be like the perfect Steam Deck game, especially if I got my headphones on. So I'm very interested in this future of this game.
Yes.
Alrighty. You got another demo you want to show off or a trailer?
Yep, I got another trailer, and I am like super through the moon for this because it looks really good, and I actually have no experience with this series, but when I saw this trailer, I was like, I have to get this game right away whenever it releases, and I do hope it gets some physical releases. So, yeah, let me throw this on the screen for you to share. All right, hopefully the audio comes through.
Let's hear it first. Yeah, it's fine.
Yo, remember me? Your old pal Bubsy? From all those classic games you loved.
Oh God.
Forget about that. Let's talk about the new one. Bubsy 4D! Now this I like. So, where are we going next? Don't mind if I do. Zoink! I wonder if that's more moves than that Italian plumber has. Ooh! What? Can anyone explain to me why I turn into a hairball now? They call me the Orange Blur. Yeah, do any of these outfits come with pants? You know I've only got one brain cell, right? And it's working overtime on this baby. Atari? I didn't even know they were still around.
Oh man, dude.
A little tongue in cheek there, that whole trailer.
I love how self-aware they are of obviously not only the history of Bubsy, because the history of Bubsy is just legendary. But like also like, you know, there's a Mario reference here. There's obviously a Sonic reference with him saying the orange blur, even though there's actually another Sonic reference, which it's not in this trailer, it's in a different one where one of the outfits is called, I think it's called like something hedgehog, and he's basically like naked, and he's got boots and gloves on. And then like his private area is censored with like pixelation.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, it was like that's like too funny. And then obviously, you know, at the end there they're being funny with Atari. But no, this game, I mean, I'm a sucker for 3D platformers, and I've been trying to catch up on a lot of like classic ones. And this one looks, I mean, amazing. It basically looks like they took what worked with they copied. I'll have to give them this. They copied Super Mario 3D World with the Cat Mario mechanic. It looks like a lot of the move set and like what's happening in here is like from that. And also they added, it looks like they kind of copied the Mario Odyssey type of like overworld here with like you're going around this like planet here or whatever. Like that's kind of like from Mario Odyssey. But besides that, and then this looks like Mario Galaxy a bit with like how big this world is. But needless to say, they copied from the best, and this 3D platforming looks fantastic here. And I think this game is going to do really well when it releases because of like the tongue in cheek that you saw in the trailer, and it's got a lot of people hyped because, you know, like, I mean, they said it here with the 3D Bubsy, like that was like a disaster of a game when it came out. And so like people are like, wait, Bubsy's back, and wow, it actually looks really good now. So yeah, it's definitely got people very interested, and like their promotion has been pretty good online too, with like the Twitter account, the X Twitter account, and like how they've really been leading into it. So actually, when's it coming? It just says wishlist now. I think this will be next year game, but
yeah.
I'm looking now. I am very curious for performance, how it will do on Switch, because they still have Switch listed here. So I hope it has like good frame rates and whatnot, because that's what you need for a platformer. But anyways, yeah, it's I mean, this game's gonna be amazing to play. I think the soundtrack sounds pretty good based off of that little trailer music. So it's gonna have that classic kind of like I don't know, 80s or 90s feel to it. But yeah, anyways, I had to show this. I forced another person to play this on their stream before. I was like, yo, you got to watch this trailer because you'll love it, because it's just funny. It's just really funny. So, yeah, I think I wishlisted this. If not, I'm definitely gonna go wishlist this here soon. So I don't know what you think about this.
It looks interesting. I'll say that much. It looks like they're trying to capture some of that nostalgia, but also trying to make it look pretty cool and fun at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah, I hope they release a demo first before it comes out because I do want to get a feel for the game and obviously other people. So we'll see like how does it like control, is it smooth? Is it responsive? Because this could do really well if that's the case next year. So yeah, Bubsy. Who would have thought in the year of our Lord and Savior 2025 and probably 2026 that a Bubsy game, a brand new Bubsy game would just come out of the ether.
Yeah, and look decent.
Yeah, and look decent. That's the best part. Yeah.
Oh, I did not expect a Bubsy 4D sighting here, but I'm definitely aware of it now. Oh, alrighty. I think that should do it for the game trailers we want to show off. Now we're going to talk about a little bit of some articles to kind of go over here. Nothing too crazy or amazing, I would say. I got two, AC has two, and I'm going to share my first one here because I feel like this one is very close to my heart. This one is from Game Radar, I think it is. Let me check here. Yeah, Games Radar, or Game Rant, sorry. And this one is basically talking about PlayStation 2 games that are worth a small fortune, they say. So it says basically here in the article, wouldn't it be nice to have one console with the ability to play any game on it legally? Unfortunately, there is not the case here, some blah, blah, blah. So they're talking about looking up a site called Price Charting. And these are some games that they've listed as being very expensive. But I feel like this is kind of a little half-ass list here because I was looking through it a little bit. But I wanted to just talk about some of this. So the first one they got is like Resident Evil Dead Aim. And this one is like notoriously one of like the biggest memes of like the Resident Evil series out there because it uses a light gun and the story is also very terrible. But like they say around here, to pick it up like as a whole thing, players can pick up a copy for around $30 to $46 or $229. However, to experience the game as it was meant to be played, players should be get this bundle with a gun controller, which is much harder to find. So that's the whole bundle right there. Why it's very expensive is that you got to try to find the light gun controller. And for some people out there who don't know, you need a CRT TV in order to use those light gun models. Now, I know some Metal Jesus just showed off a light gun for modern, I think, TVs as well that a lot of these company was working on. So I will leave a link to that in the description of this video for people who want to check that out and maybe look into that more for the retro collecting homies out there.
I'm trying to look to see what this gun looks like. Do you remember what it looks like exactly?
No, I know nothing about this one, to be precise.
Okay, because I see online like an orange gun. Because I'm pretty sure from the retro hunting I've done, I've seen like a Resident Evil looking gun, light gun, and I don't remember it being like outrageously expensive. So, but that is still funny though that this game is lauded as that.
Yeah, another game that they put on here too, which I find this one wild to see the price of it, but they're talking about Silent Hill 4: The Room. And to get a complete unboxed copy, I double checked a lot of these prices prior to this, but for the PlayStation 2 copy, it's $160. You know?
Sheesh.
And I don't understand why this game is that expensive. Personally, because this game is on other consoles and PC. So like right now you can actually go and pick this game up on Xbox for like $60. Which even that to me is wild because that means that this game has got up in price by like $30 over the years. Because when I picked up my copy when I went to a vacation the first time to Hawaii, and I paid only $30 for a complete and box one.
Wow.
So like this game is like going up in price. I think it's because of the Silent Hill 2 remake and the announce of the first one getting a re-release as well. But another thing too is it says if you have a PS3 account in Japan, you can also buy this for the PS3. But it's also on GOG. Like you could buy it right now on GOG for $6.99, and even at full price when it's not on sale, it's only $10. So
That's interesting.
so like what I'm going to say to everyone here, if you really are desperate to get a complete set of PS2 games, especially Silent Hill games for the PS2, like you're going to be paying a lot of money for this. But for everyone out there, there are cheaper ways right now that you can still do it. And if you have a Japanese PSN account and you still have a PS3, well, you can go pick this up probably for like $10 USD, right now. But yeah, this is one of the weird games. I don't know why this is going up in price at all.
Is it like a good game, like for Silent
No,
Hill?
it's terrible.
Oh no.
A lot of people like meme on the room and say it's like one of the worst games they've ever played. So I don't know, especially with so many ways to get this. For it to be $160, it just means the market's fucked right now for that one.
Yeah.
And this one over here too. This one I actually do own. I think I got this for a little cheaper because it wasn't complete in box. But Samurai Western, have you ever heard of this game?
No, I've never heard of this one.
It basically, from what I remember, is like it's a bizarre kind of brawler that takes place in like America's Western times. And I haven't played this one, but I bought it. But from what I know about it, is like there's one guy that's a cowboy, one guy that's like a samurai, and it's like a crazy over the top like brawler and everything else like that.
Huh. For the PS2, it looks like. Yep.
Yes, it is a PS2 game.
Yeah, I've never heard of this game.
And this game is probably a lot cheaper in Japan because this was probably the target audience was more Japanese players. And the reason why this is so expensive is because it was another one of those fabled short print kind of games.
Oh, of course, that's a bummer.
Yeah. So $225. I that's crazy. I think I only paid I basically paid loose price because it was missing the manual. Then that was a couple years ago. But yeah, another game too. This one I don't own. I think they were talking about Wild Arms 10th anniversary, and like I said, I think this is also another one of those like very short printed releases in the West. And if I recall correctly, this also came with like a special edition DVD. So that's also kind of like why this is like sought after a little bit more.
Yeah.
But, like I said, this is another one of those games where if you have a Japanese PSN, you could get it for relatively cheap as well. But this is the one right here that I love to always talk about, Def Jam Fight for New York. One of the greatest games ever made, in my opinion, if I do say so myself. And this game has always been expensive. All right, I'm not gonna lie. This game is on Xbox, PlayStation 2, and GameCube. And the GameCube copy of this game is like $200, and the Xbox copy is like $100. But this game is just like insanely good and insanely fun. Snoop Dogg is the big bad in this game. And
Nice.
Like I said, if you guys have never played a Def Jam game, like this needs to be like at the top of your priority list. I know they also did a PSP port of this game, but I don't think it's as good. But this is like one of those like rare fabled games out there that I think a lot of people don't remember playing, but for the people who did play it, they have nothing but good memories about this. Yeah, I'm so happy I got this for at least my original Xbox collection, so I could still play this one. But I bought this, well before COVID, like I want to say 2019 for like $70, and it keeps going up in price every year. So if you have the means and have the ways to play it, this is definitely a game I highly recommend you pick up and add to your collection, especially the first one, Def Jam. Proper, the original wrestling game, is also very fun and good too. Now this one, this is the fun story here. Dot Hack Quarantine. For people who don't know about it, the entire Dot Hack series of these video games, all four of them, were released in under one calendar year. So you got your first game, I think, February in Japan, and the last one came out in January the following year. Of all four of them.
Wow.
Yeah, and the funny thing is for this one, why this one is so expensive, is this one was really heavily short printed. So
Is this the last one in the
this
series
is,
then?
This is the last one in the series. Yes.
Makes sense. Okay.
Yeah. Ironically enough, they just did not really care about like making this one very out there. But about these games, I played them all. I can't really tell you the story about them off the top of my head because it's been damn near 20 plus years now. April 10th, 2003 was the release date here in the USA. So, yeah, 22 years ago now.
Wow.
That's how long ago it was. But one thing I do remember about these games that was pretty cool because they basically just cranked them out. If you got to like maxed out level in the first game, you just basically played these games on story mode because the data carried over all your weapons, all your levels, and it wasn't a challenge at all.
Oh, that's interesting. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Another thing too is they all came with DVDs as well, so they had like a little companion anime to it. For people who don't know about this, Dot Hack Sign, the anime, this is actually a direct sequel to that anime. So if you really like that anime and you haven't played these games and you want more of that story, this is the one that pick up and find. You can play the first three. They're not that expensive, the first three. But once you start to get to like Outbreak and, Quarantine, then yeah, you're going to have the hard time of the gamer's dilemma of always spending crazy amount. $248. The funny part is I think I got the whole trilogy, the quadrilogy, for about this price like a few years back. But this is another one that's like an infamous one, Hunting Grounds. This is, I believe, a sequel to a spin-off sequel to the Clock Tower games.
Okay.
And this game is notoriously this price is like it fluctuates so much. Like sometimes it's under $300, sometimes it's like over $300. So this one is like all over the place. It's not an amazing game by a stretch of the imagination. I hear it ranges from bad to decent. I've never heard anyone actually praise this game over the top. This is another game I do have in my collection where I got lucky and got this as like part of a trade-in bundle. But this is also another game that's on the Japanese PSN. So if you want to try to play this game for cheaper and you don't mind it probably not having English subtitles, I would say try to do it that way because, damn, this game is way too expensive.
Yep. When there's a will, there's a way.
Mhm.
And there's a way to play this.
And then the last one they got on here, which I actually did not know about, is the Lecturnal cover for this one. Xenosaga 3 is super expensive on its own in general. Like even loose copies of this game can sell for well over $180 on a bad day. But this is also one of those other games that had two covers. So there's like the regular variant of this one, and then there's like a kind of a holographic version of this cover too. And the secondary cover, like I didn't know existed until I was reading this article. Like it says here, it can sell for close to $500.
Sheesh. That's
Yeah.
for a PS2 title.
I know.
Good grief.
So I actually do own this one. I got lucky about it, but like I said, man, it's incredibly expensive to find these games out there. And everyone who doesn't know, this is basically the prequel to Xenoblade and a sequel to Xenogears in some way, shape, and form.
Yeah, that's I'm being bullied by a mutual friend of ours to get into Xenosaga, so I'm gonna one of these days I'll start with it. And yeah, unfortunately, I'll probably have to play just the digital version of those games because I'm not spending that amount of money for that.
Well,
Now,
they
if it does trap me, then maybe. But we gotta wait a while for that.
well they are cheaper in Japan, so there you go.
Yeah, I see them. I see them all the time. Well, I see like mostly two. I think I see part two or episode two a lot, but yeah, they are generally cheaper.
Yeah, and now I guess we get back to the point of why I brought this article up. It's a lot of retro prices are insane. Like they're all over the board. Like sometimes you can find good deals. Like there's still plenty of really popular games out there you can find for modern AAA prices. But a lot of these games were super short printed. As you can see with a lot of them, they were like the last game released in the series, and it just feels like they pushed out enough to like capture their dedicated fan base, and then it was just like, oh, a lot of these games were like so short printed that they were only released to like their audience. And then after that, if you came late, well, I'm sorry for you. You're shit out of luck.
Yeah.
But yeah,
That's interesting.
that's kind of like I just want to bring that one up first because I know one of the big things right now is like emulation and all this stuff. Like it's like the hot thing to say, but for physical people out there, you just kind of have to realize that just like with Pokemon cards, once something becomes popular and explodes, and especially because these games were already 20 plus years old and there were already very, very finite resources there. I can only say this: learn Japanese and find the Japanese copies if you want to save some money.
Yes.
All right, then, Mr. AC, how about you show your article?
Sure thing. I got two here. I got one quick one and one medium-sized one, I guess. So let me just throw this up here. Boom. Okay. Yeah, so this is from a Japanese news website, so it's being actually no, my bad. It's from this company website, and it's being Google machine translated, excuse me. So this company known as Edia has basically gone a license agreement signed with Nihon Falcom, and if you guys are familiar with Nihon Falcom, they're famous for obviously the Yeast series as well as the Trails in the Sky series. And so basically, this kind of happened last week, and it popped up on Twitter, and they somehow got a license agreement to port 7 titles to actually more than 8 titles to modern consoles, and that has me excited because I've played Yeast 1 through 2, excuse me. 3, there's a remake which I showed earlier in this video. Oath and Felghana is basically a remake of 3, and then 4, Dawn of Yeast is actually kind of, I think, one of the if I remember correctly, it's a stranded game. Like meaning like there's no way to play it unless you get the original Japanese version, which is really expensive.
Yeah.
I don't think it ever came to the West too.
No.
So the fact that this license agreement has come is really cool because I have a funny feeling these are all JRPG games, the ones that are listed here. Yeast 1 and 2, Yeast 3, 4, Dragon Slayer, The Legend of Heroes, Dragon Slayer, Legend of Heroes 2. So I think these are the Legend of Heroes is actually the Trails games because they're actually called that. It's called Legend of Heroes Trails, and then whatever the title is going to be. So I think these are kind of like the early games, the precursor to like Trails in the Sky. And then you've got Legend of Xanadu 1 and 2. I have a funny feeling because of the size of these games that they will be able to put them all in a collection, a single collection, no less. So I really hope they do this justice and like there's like some good English translations, like meaning like they're like just they're accurate per se, like they're not like goofy because some of these games were fan translated, but because these are the PC engine games too. So they were a lot of them, especially with the voice acting, I guess, were fan translated. anyways, and I know you can get 1 and 2 on Steam right now, and I think GOG as well. So this has me excited because these are just older games made by Nihon Falcom that are going to get ported to modern consoles, and it makes me excited as a physical collector that hopefully we can get this physically, and they do some kind of cool little like collector's edition or something. So for context, this company here, Edia, I just wanted to look up who they were. They're kind of like a technology slash publisher company, so they have like their own IP as well, which I had it on screen here earlier. But yeah, anyways, they've done like their own their own games. So like this one and this one, real quickly. Yeah, these games right here. So I'm not familiar with these games, but they have published games. So this isn't like, I think like this deal is a win-win for everybody. It's a smaller company that's publishing like an older game, a bigger company's like older game, and so it's good. I think it's just really good, and hopefully we see this with other companies in the future too.
Yeah, especially with some of these older stranded Japanese only games, to finally get them out to the West, and even for the Japanese market themselves. Uh, like I think we were looking it up prior. I think that game in particular, I think it did get a PlayStation 2 release later on.
Yes, Yeast number 4. Yeah.
Yeah, and like even in Japan, it's like damn near $300. You know.
Yep, it's one of those like random kind of like expensive. I think it was a remake. I'm looking it up right now, but yeah, anyways, needless to say, the Yeast series after Yeast, let's see, which one would it have been? Either Oath and Felghana or Celceta. Celceta is like the actually reporting that game again. From that point on, or actually, I should say Yeast 6 as well. A lot of those you can play on modern, like you can play on computer or modern console. Anything older than that, so we're talking like before 2000s, is a bit difficult to get your hands on, especially some of the Lost in Time ones, because funny enough, Yeast 4, the one that's on this list here, was actually made by Hudson Soft and not Nihon Falcom. So that one is interesting. That I guess Nihon Falcom owns the rights to it, but now they're going to like it. Like I don't know how that's going to work, but they were able to get the licensing for that. So, anyways, I like seeing retro games get revived and brought back to the modern era, and that's what we're getting with this.
Yeah, it's definitely one that I hope to hear more about in the near future because I didn't even know this happened. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it happened, like I said, last week. So first week of September, I saw it randomly pop up on my Twitter feed because I follow. There's a couple of good sites you can follow, but one of them is RPG fan site. They are on top of like RPG news, and then there was actually a Yeast fan account that published this as reposted this as well. So that's how I found out pretty quickly. Yeah, I'm very intrigued to see how they will handle this port, because these first 2 Yeast games are pretty difficult. So it's definitely going to be more for the hardcore audience and people that are curious in nature.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. Also, I like how you got this over here because I was going to do another article, but I don't know how to do this Google Translate. How did you do this?
Actually, I don't know because this link was given to me by a mutual friend of mine who's a big Yeast fan, and so he just sent me this Google translated link, and I was like, oh, that's kind of convenient. I don't have to like right click to translate because normally you got to right click in order to translate. I'll ask him how he got it, and I'll let you know later.
Yeah, because there was another one I was going to do for article for Romeo is Dead, the new Suda 51 game where there was like this giant interview that he had, but it's all in Japanese and it's like a Q&A. So it's like the devs actually answering the question. So I want to look more into that, but I was like, I don't have time to figure this out, especially because it's 2:30 in the morning here right now where I'm at. So I am not fully aware that I have the capabilities to do that. But yeah, it's pretty cool, man. Definitely because we've had a few conversations about number 4 many, many times. So let's get on it, doggone it.
Yeah, looking forward to finally playing it. Yeah, because like apparently one last thing I'll say about it is this one is actually considered non-canon in the I guess the grander Yeast story, so that's why like a lot of people just don't play it. But I am looking forward to eventually trying that out. So I can move on to the next or my final article.
Yeah, we could do yours, and then I got one left, and it's just kind of like a more food for thought kind of thing. So let's do that.
All right. This next one, oh, it's not showing. Hold on a second. I have to reshare this. All right, I guess it was only doing one window at a time, so that's good. All right, so this next one, I'm actually very intrigued by this because Final Fantasy Tactics Remaster devs built a replacement for its lost source code from fan site downloads. And the director says, I do want to thank all the fans for all their help in keeping that information archived. So yeah, basically, for those of you not aware, Final Fantasy Tactics is going to be is being remastered and being released this month, actually September. And what was really interesting about it is that they go into detail here with this article that the original Final Fantasy Tactics, like the original source code of that game, has been more or less self-corrupted by the developers because when they were developing the game and localizing it for different regions, instead of like, copy and pasting those files and keeping them kind of segregated based off of the regions, they would actually paste over the source code file of like the current region's language that they were working on. So in this example, they said that like when they were working on the Japanese region of the game or something, that they would actually overwrite the English data on it right here. So that's like kind of funny, but also kind of like scary because like how many other developers were doing this back in the day with their games and not keeping like source code files separate. Obviously, game design and like the process of it has evolved quite a bit over the years, so that's not an issue nowadays. But yeah, so what's really interesting is that they were able through fan kind of like unofficial fan archiving of this game online, take it as you will, they were able to actually kind of like gather a bunch of different versions of Final Fantasy Tactics and decide which version holds up to the original one. And that's kind of hard to decide because the original one's been rewritten over and over again, that it's not really the original one anymore. And they are confident that they were able to piece it together as close to the original game as they can. And I just thought that was, and they say here, the true original that was on the PS1. So, and of course, there's PSP and mobile ports that they put on here as well. So I thought that was kind of funny that like one bad game design practices that were being accomplished back in the day, and two, through game preservation done by fans, that this was able to be recovered. And I'm actually kind of curious because like how big this game is and how I wonder if like other developers, especially knock knock Nintendo, if they realize that this the preservation of games and source codes actually helps developers in the long run to kind of reaccess those games, that is more of a net positive than a net negative for these corpos. But who knows, I just thought this was really interesting. So I have this pre-ordered and I'm looking forward to playing this and seeing how it is. I've never played the original game, so I have nothing to really go off of here. And by the way, this game has two versions. It has the quote unquote original version, and then there's the remaster version that has like voice acting and everything else in it. So there's two different versions you can play when this game comes out.
Yeah, I know our friend Mr. Seth the Dragon. He's super excited for that. Mr. DJ Axis.
Oh yes, Seth-chan, yes.
Yeah, he's super excited for this. I got this pre-ordered as well. I think I'm gonna play it on my Switch as well.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to eventually playing it because yeah, I mean it had a pretty good pre-order bonuses you can get like for this game and whatnot. So
Yeah, what did it have out there by you?
I think it was the same exact. If I remember seeing it correctly, it was the same exact. Like the dice or whatever, and like the physical stuff was more or less the same. I don't remember seeing any differences.
So I know that Amazon got like an exclusive poster out here. So
Oh yeah. I don't because I remember checking Amazon Japan and I don't think I saw the poster at all. That's why I actually pre-ordered from Amazon US
yeah,
instead.
I do think that's funny because I think the other time we were looking at what Xeno Chronicles X,
Yes.
and like you got like an ashtray from like Amazon Japan or something.
Yeah, Japan was like giving out ashtrays for Xenoblade Chronicle X, and like America, well, GameStop was doing uh was it GameStop? Somebody was doing like acrylic stuff or something completely
Best
different.
Buy, Best
Or
Buy.
Best Buy, yeah.
Yeah,
Unbelievable.
yeah, I was laughing about that because we had like fun conversations. He's like, "Oh, look at this pre-order bonus." I'm like, "Is that an ashtray? Like, what did they do?"
Yeah, yeah. I mean, dude, the stuff you go through in that game, I guess it makes sense to include an ashtray, but I don't know how well that does for the image for like, underage people playing the game. So,
Exactly. It's like I know from like a lot of Japanese media that they do portray like the older generation still smoke and all that stuff, but I'm just like, really? An ashtray? It probably isn't even an ashtray, but it just like looked.
it
like
looks like
an
one, yeah.
ashtray. Like, that's the funny part about it.
So yeah, yeah, there you have it. I think people, if you really care about sending a message to game preservation, that I think you should support this game because of what the developers had to do to kind of get this game off the ground. So I'm looking forward to playing as a first time player, and I know, like you said, Seth Chan is looking forward to playing it as a long time fan. I know our good buddy Jason, Tons of Fun Games, he's looking forward to playing this too. So
He definitely
um,
is.
yeah, a lot of people hyped for this, so this should be a pretty good launch.
Yes, yes, sir, indeed. All right, very cool, very cool. All right, I got one article I want to briefly touch on real quick here, and that's for a game series that I have an interesting relationship with. So, Life is Strange TV series announced by Amazon will end with End of the Fucking World writer as its showrunner. For anyone out there who may not know about this game series, it's interesting. Like the first game in this series, I actually enjoyed until basically about the end. You play as a girl named Chloe, and she has the ability to basically control time. And it was very unique. So if you guys ever played the Telltale video games out there, like the old Walking Dead or something like that, it's basically like one of those ones. It's a choice-based kind of game where you go around and it's just very dialogue-heavy choices, more like a point-and-click adventure than like an actual like over-the-top action game. And it had a very interesting indie soundtrack. It was not Chloe. Sorry, her name's Max. There you go. Let me before the comment sections come in at me. But like her friend's Chloe, and they made a bunch of different sequels and spin-offs. But like the one thing about this game series that kind of I think they did a bad way of advertising this is that they kind of made it like the diversity version of like Telltale. And what I mean by that is like a lot of the stories are about like gay and bisexual and diversity and stuff like that. And that's like a target audience. I get it. But I feel like the fan base has done a lot of these games disservice by that because there's actually some really good writing from the studio for like at least a few of the games. But I know that a lot of their how can I say this properly here? A lot of things have been clipped out of context to try to make them look even worse than I think they should be. Now, of course, everything is up to your personal preference, but I would say if you are interested in this series, go play the first one because I think that's the best one, and it actually is pretty good overall, in my opinion. And I was wondering, did you ever play these games? Ever play one of them at least?
No, I think I was one. I'm not the target audience. I'm not part of that target audience for this game.
Yeah, and I feel bad too because Double Exposure, they basically kind of ruined like a lot of the lore they established in the first game when they brought Max back. And I'm just like, Dog, man, it's like even you guys don't even respect your own like property that you put out there.
Sheesh.
But anywho, I've never seen the end of the fucking world, and couldn't tell you anything about that. But for I know a few people on like some of the other social media apps, like Fuse, for example, we're talking about this. So there is a dedicated fan base of people who are excited for this. So I wanted to bring this up here and just kind of give it a little shout out for people who may or may not know about this or who are willing to maybe go back and kind of look at these older games and maybe give them a chance, you know? So that's where I'm just going to leave it at for this one. But yeah, that should be the ending point of the show, man. This was super fun. I'm starting to like gas out a little bit here, so sorry if this sounds a little brief here, but hey, man, thank you for coming on and launching the first inaugural ship of this rebrand here.
Yeah, man, it's a fun time, and I like this to be able to share a couple articles, a couple trailers, things that I'm excited for, you're excited for, and obviously future guests are excited for, and get the conversation going about gaming in a positive way instead of just doom and gloom about everything. Because there's a lot of cool things coming out that people want to play, and we got to focus on that, and that'll help you with your mental health overall.
Right. I feel like as we go and as I learn how to do this a lot better, I feel like just a lot of times, like if something's popular, there's like a subset group out there that will just tell you everything's wonderful. And then there's another subset group of trying to find any interview or dev's words or any article they can and frame it in a way of making you wary or upset or mad. I feel like it's just call balls and strikes is the name of the game for the future, and definitely enjoy this. So I showed off a couple games. AC has showed off a couple games, and if you're interested in learning more about that too, like I said, just go and check some of these articles out. You can go find them online, and hopefully we can learn next time how to do the Google Translate properly too.
Yes.
So with that being said, AC, do you want to talk about what upcoming projects you got going?
Yeah, so if you saw earlier, I've got this Yeast PC game that I gotta do kind of like an unboxing and explain what's inside. There's actually more than one, so that's a video I'm working on right now. And then hopefully I'll have another video actually before that video about two different games that I'm comparing. Just a quick video, just having fun with it. And then of course I just do live streaming here and there, playing games when I have the time to live stream, I should say, and just chatting with people that come on by. I live in Japan, so usually when I'm streaming, it's nighttime, which is morning time for you guys in the North America region. And so people would just like to come and chat with me before they go to work or while they're on their way to work. So it's just a fun time over on my channel. And yeah, appreciate you inviting me on for this breaker episode.
No problem. I couldn't think of anyone better. That's for sure.
Oh, shucks.
His channel will be linked in the description of the title. That didn't sound right. It'll be linked in the title. It'll take you right to it. So go give him a follow if you haven't already. As for me, like I said, we're going to keep this train rolling. We got many more content coming, pre-recorded live streams. Everything's been posted in a community note. But if you're new here, welcome. And if you made it this far, please remember to leave a like and a comment. Tell me more about like other things you're excited about, some suggestions, some other games that you like to do, because I want to make this more like a community hub. Let's talk about games, places where to find new games, articles that we should look into, so on and so forth. Let's get it out there. I want to hear about what you're playing in the comments too. Tell me about other video games I should be looking into, and of course, yeah, that's really about it. I would say hit the bell for notifications whenever we post a video or go live. It helps. Small sacrifices to the algorithm gods help grow this channel. And everyone, you have yourself a wonderful day, morning, noon, or night, wherever you're at and whenever you're watching. Until next time, see you all later.
Peace out.